Good morning, everybody. And what would we say? Buenos dias, right? We're here at Atlantic Canada Cooks with my awesome mom, Helen Alcorn. And we both traveled to Mexico
We have.
several times. So it is one of our favorite countries to visit. Number one, because of the people. Because of the people. They're so friendly, warm, and welcoming. And definitely number two is because of the food. And then probably the beaches and the most amazing history.
Drinks.
Drinks and the drinks and the cervezas. Now, mom's more of a margarita girl than a cerveza girl.
Yeah.
But we just want to say we're really excited here. It's, I almost said August, April 21st of 2024. And it's interesting because it's 3.5 years we've been doing this. We love to welcome guests from around the globe. And I'm so excited to have Jessica here today. And Jessica and I have had the great privilege to meet in person. And Jessica's going to introduce herself and her recipe here in a minute. And because she's one of our students from Atlantic Canada Language Academy. And she's been doing an amazing job practicing her English. And her English is much better than my Spanish. And we were practicing a little yesterday. So maybe Jessica and I will do a little language exchange so she can help teach me a little bit. But she's going to share a recipe with us today. And I want you to note the gorgeous scarf she has on because she's wearing her Nova Scotia tartan, which of course is where Atlantic Canada Language Academy is. But Mom and I are cooking from Moncton, New Brunswick today. And I'm going to tell you what's on our menu because, we're going to go with some enchiladas. And I love enchiladas because I think that recipe tells you a lot about the culture of Mexico. And when I read about it, even the sauce alone goes back from the Aztec times. So it's sort of one of those recipes and you can make it in a few different ways. I see some of our other friends coming in. I see Holly and Joan, one of Mom's best friends in St. John, New Brunswick. And the amazing Diana from Colombia is here. Listen, Jessica, you're just a star. We've got Mohammed here from Morocco as well. So tostadas. So I'm wearing my taco shirt, but today I'm not actually going to make tacos because we love tacos. Tacos are absolutely amazing. But do you know what? Tostadas is like this great open-faced taco with these amazing fried shells. And but you still put some of the same ingredients that you would on a taco. So we thought we would just show another more traditional food, caldo tacos, right? And then corn is a really important vegetable in Mexico, right, Jessica? Like you will see corn in everything. A lot of corn flour is used in different things. This is funny because I'm actually holding some corn flour that is from Turkey, but perfectly ground. So there we go. There's Shinobu coming in from Japan. Avocados are another amazing thing that becomes really important. I could eat avocados all day long. So we're going to be using some beautiful avocados in our meal as well. And of course, it wouldn't be great without some guacamole and some pico de gallo, but I'm pretty sure Jessica is going to tell us a little bit about one of those recipes. So while I get a few things started here, I'm going to invite Jessica to unmute and say buenos dias and tell us a little bit about what you're going to cook today.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. Today is a pleasure for me. I chose a recipe easy for you. The ingredients is the easy to find. The recipe now is sope. Sope is the base is a broth with some beans, some lettuce. Is optional. Put cheese or cream. If you are a vegetarian, this recipe is perfect for you because it's no some chicken, or it's optional. Put chicken, beef, or pork. Yes. So now I prepared this recipe, but welcome to Mexico. This form. It's a pleasure for me. Do you listen to me?
We can hear you perfect.
Thank you.
So, Jessica, I'm going to get a couple things cooking, and then when we come over, you can start to show us your ingredients. How does that sound?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So the ingredients is beans. This form I prepare all is lettuce. Yes. For me, is I like nopales, and cheese and cream. Yes. It's optional. The meal for me today is pork. It's delicious. This recipe is good for three reasons. It's cheap and hearty and delicious. I promise. So the sope is about this form. You need fried in the oil, hot oil, and after I prepare this, after this is formed, this is ready. This is base, and all the ingredients is put up in this similar a tortilla, similar, yes, but the same is more smart, yeah. Okay. Any question?
I'm trying to unmute. Yeah, Jessica. So I've got a flat corn for the tostada. Is that made out of flour or is that made out of corn?
It's no, it's a corn. It's a corn. Yes.
Always the traditional. All right,
Yeah.
Jessica, you know what we're gonna do? Thanks for starting that. You get the next step ready. We're gonna get you to hit mute. And I'm going to just put some ingredients here, and we're going to have some fun going back to Mexico, to Jessica's kitchen. And I'm hoping I'm going to make her very proud with being as authentic as I can to the flavors. So I want Mom to stand beside me when I open the lid to this pot. So one of the things that is really important in many cultural cooking is using all the ingredients. So last night I have put in my slow cooker, which is this a whole chicken, and I stuffed the chicken with a couple of limes and an orange and some of these really great chipotle peppers that are in an adobe sauce. The other thing that I put in the pot is I put a can of tomatoes and then a couple of these beautiful peppers. And I'm always looking for something to make me smile, aren't I? There's always something along the way. And a couple of these, and these peppers are not hot, unlike these other peppers here that are, yeah, Mom is smiling. Don't worry, it didn't go in, Mom. Mom likes spicy, but not so much hot. So I didn't put this pepper in. I'm going to dice this on the side because I have a couple friends that do like it spicy and hot. But we put a couple of these in. And again, I made sure the chicken was really clean. And then I also put in about a cup of fresh cilantro and about 2 cups of onions. So this has been cooking all night long. There we go. Smell that, Mom. Smell that, Mom.
Oh my,
Right?
that smells really yummy.
So,
Oh, looks good too.
and I'm going to tell you what else is going on behind me. I've got a hot pan with some oil, and these are some beans. See, these were canned beans, so they're already pretty mushy, as we would say. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm putting them in the frying pan behind me, and I'm going to do a refried bean and just sort of show you how you can take a can and do all the right seasoning. So these are in a hot pan and a little bit of olive oil behind me. And we're just gonna let those simmer a little bit. Now, this soup is already unbelievably flavored. And Mom, can you just get me is there a clear bowl? Do you know what? Look what's in my way. My sombrero is in my way. So I'm gonna put my sombrero on my head. How's this? Jessica's loving it. All for my students, all for my students.
You have one?
I am going to, wow, this really smells so amazing. I could crawl into the pot. So what I'm going to do is, and Mom, maybe you could get me a bigger spoon, if you don't mind. So I'm going to go over again what's in here, and there is also some bay leaves. This smells absolutely incredible, would be an understatement. So I want to take the bay leaves out that are in there because we really don't want anybody, thanks, Mom, getting one of those giant bay leaves in their mouth. So because I took the whole chicken just before you guys joined me, I pulled almost all the bones out. And I say almost because I just found another one. Please be careful when you feed your friends to remove the bones. So what I'm simply going to do with this, and the other thing it has in it, is about 10 cloves of whole garlic. So hopefully you can see all those beautiful flavors are already in here. But I want to take and pull that chicken a little bit. So it's a little bit more of what we'd say a pulled chicken. The other thing I'm going to add is I have that little bit of corn in the box. Where'd that go? Oh, here. So right now, it needs some more liquid because it's fairly thick, but I'm going to take 2 forks and I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull that meat apart. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. It's sort of that pulled pork or pulled meat theme. So just take your 2 forks and I'm just going to separate the pieces because what I want is strings of chicken. That's when it gets great. You don't really want big chunks. I think one of the parts of this soup is getting the strings of chicken and all the other nice vegetables that are really cooked through. Now, Mom, I boiled the kettle right behind you. If you can, we're going to add some liquid to this too. But I've already taste tested this, but you know I'm going to taste test it again. So see what we've now done is shred the chicken. It's already so delicious, it doesn't need more flavor. But we're going to give it a little bit more flavor. So what I'm going to do is add the chicken back in here. I just wanted to show you what it looked like. But I'm going to trade you for that bowl if you don't mind, Mom. I've got that.
Got it?
Okay. We're going to take the 2 forks and we're going to go through this whole bowl and finish shredding the rest of the chunks that are in here. Because some of the breast meat, as you can see, is full, but I just want you to see that it falls apart. The flavor and the seasoning is amazing. I see Diana on there. I said, Diana, you have to come over for lunch today. So I'm going to add, and I can see on the side here, because I want this to be soup, and I'm adding 4 cups of water. I don't need to add a broth because there is so much amazing flavor in this already. But I am going to add some corn. Now you can use fresh corn. You can use a can of corn. I'm using a Tetra pack of corn, which Mom was giggling because I hadn't used that before. So the corn in the soup now, this just needs to sit. Remember, there's already onions, tomatoes, peppers, and they cooked with the chicken overnight. So we're going to pour a nice bowl of this afterwards to show everybody what it looks like. But I think one of the key things that I love in Mexican food, and we're going to demonstrate a lot of that today, is how beautiful the food is and the care that's taken when you serve a bowl of all the extra little ingredients that go on top. So I'm going to move this. Again, this is in my crock pot. So it's a slow cooker, and that way it allows things to just build that flavor. How are those beans looking, Mom? There we go. So we're going to go back over to Jessie's cooking, because I can see that she's busy in her kitchen. So let's see what she's got going with her guacamole. And I am very envious of that beautiful bowl that you have, because Jessie, my mortar and pestle, I'm only going to be able to do this much with mine. So you've got the giant one. So let us see that beautiful bowl that you're using. Jess, do you want to just hit unmute and show us what you're doing with your guacamole?
Yes, I prepare guacamole.
We can hear you now, Jessica. Tell us what you're putting in your guacamole.
Yes, is the Mexican food is a roll, the salt. So now is guacamole is avocado, some salt, some garlic, on. The ingredient secret is habanero. Is this? So I put in this recipe. This recipe is a pre-Hispanic rock from Mexico. It's a secret, the guacamole. Yeah, it's a rock. So I put the ingredients and this form. I move for the guacamole is the consist correct. Yeah. So maybe agree some lemon, but it's optional. Yeah. That's it.
Jessica, that I first of all, I think all of us are feeling like we're in Mexico with you. Especially when we see those beautiful tools that you're using. And I am very envious of your avocados. The avocados I got today, I taste tested a piece of this one, are a lot smaller, and yours are beautiful and big and ripe. So let's talk a little bit about the flavors that I'm building. So we say this all the time, you know, when you look at this spice mixture, you know, this is when, you know, this is where flavor starts at the party. So in here, I've got some wonderful chili powder, some garlic powder, and I've got some dried oregano and thyme, salt. This is onion and some paprika and a little bit of cumin that's going into here. And on this side, you can see a little bit of curcumin. So this spice blend is going to go into a mixture that we're going to be putting out to start our enchilada sauce. But the base of that, and do I have an extra pot on in the back, Mom, to do that? I'm going to use some of these beautiful chilies. Look at this, that are already packaged in the adobe sauce, which just, I feel like I could eat this out of the can, but it might be a little bit challenging. So we're going to put a burner on in the back.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go, Mom. And I'm going to put some olive oil in that. And we're going to start that with a little bit of diced onion. And I've got some diced onion here. I'm going to put about a cup of diced onion. I am going to puree this. So I know that I just want to get the onion soft. I'm not going to brown it, but I do need to get it soft. So, and I'm also making sure I keep them cut at around the same size. Give that to Mom. And I'm going to take one of these peppers out of the can. I think this one's going to be a little messy. And I take one of these peppers out, and I'm just going to cut that up a little bit for Mom and put that in her pan. And I'm going to give her that spice mixture to put together. I'm actually putting it right in there, and I'm going to put that in and give that to Mom. So she's going to put that in with the onions, and this is what's going to start off our sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this once those onions get softened up a bit, so that I've got a little bit of a mixture and some tomato paste. There we go, Mom. So my mother is gonna have like the flavors that you can smell behind us are absolutely amazing. I also have some diced garlic here. So I've got here about a tablespoon of diced garlic that I'm gonna put into that as well. What you're gonna see is this is about a little bit of the dried seasoning with a bit of onion, pepper, and garlic to give the sauce a little bit of a consistency is what we're looking for. There we go. And you can put just a little bit of water in that, Mom. To give you a little bit of a base. So a cooking tip that's really good, we have our kettle here. And when I'm starting to cook, I often fill this up and boil it. So I have my water that's just sitting there, and I know I'm adding hot water to my recipes. So it works out really great. It makes it much easier when you're adding things to recipes. So I also have all my cilantro already prepped here. So because we know cilantro or coriander is one of those amazing. It is one of my favorite herbs. We know some people find it has a soapy taste. We know that's genetic. But I also know that even if you get a little bit of that, when you use it in a recipe, most people absolutely love it. So Jesse, just give me a wave when you want to go back over and show us what's cooking in the steps in your kitchen right now. Because I'm going to put a little bit of pico de gallo together. But tell us what's going on.
Oh, pico de gallo. Okay. It's delicious. Pico de gallo only is tomato with garlic, cilantro. Very good. Great for me is some salt with lemon. Lemon.
Jessica, I think you have a bit of a connection. Your connection was off a little bit for your internet. I think you froze. So welcome to a live show, everybody. You're back, Jess.
Yes, it's okay. I don't know. I don't.
Go ahead, Jessica. We can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Can you repeat it, please?
I said, Jessica, you can go ahead. I'm hitting my mute button so that you can talk. Jessica, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry.
Please
Yes.
continue.
Continue with my recipe. Yes, continue with my recipe. It's very easy. It's for me was difficult choose one recipe Mexican because this recipe is the favorite for me. It's easy. Only you need find the boat. In some store is named Maseca. This form for the boat. The boat prepared with a bowl, in a bowl. This bowl, is this consistent. This, yeah, is easy for those. Yeah. I have a secret. When you don't have the perfect thing for the Mexican food, only you need this bowl. This is a dish. It's a dish. This is the plastic. So you put this form, you bowl. So you need other and the put. And here, now, con all this form, and this form, yes. This form, only you need put this form in the contour. This, and finally, is ready. Yes, the size is optional. The sign you put in the fry, and well, this color is not correct. Color is dark yellow, maybe, is the correct for the eat, is prepared, yeah? So that's it.
Jessica, I just noticed you muted again. First of all, thank you for that cooking tip if you don't have a press. What a great idea. Wonderful. And I know I've been asking some of my Latino friends to help teach me how to properly make torts because I bought mine today. I didn't make mine today. So those are wonderful tips. I'm just going to show what's going on with my recipes right now. And we're going to come back over so you can finish showing us as your recipe comes together. So
Yes.
what's going on in the back is we've got a few things. The enchilada sauce smells amazing. It needs to cook for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to puree it so that there's no chunks of anything, and it's a very beautiful, smooth, and silky sauce. In the pan here, we had put those beans in, and we just put a little bit of cumin, salt and pepper, and seasoning, and some chili powder is going to go in now. And as you see, the beans are easy for us to just squish down, and we want to make that really nice consistency to have like a refried bean. And Mom's done a great job here. So I'm going to give those back to Mom. Mom, you can put a little bit of this seasoning on there. It would be great. Yeah. So I'm going to start to build the filling for my enchiladas. And when I went back at the very beginning and I cooked a whole chicken, I was able to pull some of the chicken out that's going to go inside my enchiladas. I took some of the chicken that's going to go on my beautiful tostadas, and also have left myself enough for my enchiladas. So it's really great because that same base season in the chicken, but I'm going to be using it in different recipes. So very similar to earlier where we pulled it, it's all nice in strips of chicken that's here in the bowl. And inside my enchilada, I'm going to add some rice. So I've cooked up some nice rice here, some brown rice. I prefer to use a brown rice because it has a little bit more healthy components to it. So, and what I'm going to add is I have about, I'm just looking here, I have about 2 cups of chicken, and I'm going to put about a cup of rice that's going to go into this mixture. That's just going to be inside of my enchiladas. So right now this mixture is cold. So I've got rice, chicken that's going to go inside here. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of nice fresh cilantro that's going to go inside of the enchiladas. So it's going to make a nice mixture. Now, I was saying to my mom and Sheena, so we've got another guest that we're going to ask, I'm going to call on from MacArthur's Flower Shop. Sheena's a floral designer, but she's also a food lover. And we're going to be looking for her to feature some recipes from Antigua Barbuda. She's having a hard time with that one, Sheena. And Sheena's going to talk for a bit about these beautiful flower arrangements that are available at MacArthur's Flower Shop here in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I just see Sheena's going to get her camera on. And flowers add beauty to every day as well. And there's an art to them. Mom and I enjoy getting these bouquets every week.
Gorgeous.
And this week is also Administrative Professionals Day coming up. So treat someone you know that's helping you to flowers. But Sheena, did you want to tell us a little bit about what's in each of these flowers? And I'm going to get Mom to hold this and sort of spin it for you while I check on things on the back. Is that good, Sheena?
Okay.
All right, Mom, you get to be the flower holder.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Sheena, newest florist to MacArthur's Flower Shop. And this week coming up is Professional Administration Week. And so Mom's holding this beautiful flowers from MacArthur's. So in this bouquet, we can see some pink Gerber daisies. We can see some yellow moms, also some yellow daisies. And we also have some purple daisies in this beautiful hand-tied bouquet. It's just easy to just pop into a vase at home and enjoy for over the week or going to a second week with this beautiful arrangement in your home from MacArthur's Flower Shop.
Thank you. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Mom, how much are you enjoying your bouquets?
Oh,
every week?
I'm so much, I always love fresh flowers anyway. And for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've gotten a fresh bouquet every week, and Michelle gives me a few to take home on my side of the house, and I enjoy those. I always enjoyed fresh flowers, always did. Even as a kid, you know, he went and picked a bunch of daisies and put them in a pop bottle and put them on the table. And I love Gerber daisies. They're beautiful.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle used to go picking buttercups for Mom.
I love to go pick flowers. I think that that's what kids should be able to do, right? Pick
Buttercups and
flowers,
daisies.
right?
Oh, I also see some Hypericum berries in there.
Yes.
Ah, yes, those.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Sheena, for sharing that. And we're going to look forward to Sheena's going to, on one of these episodes, she's actually going to build a bouquet, just like we're building a recipe.
Yes,
You
yes.
can show us a little bit of, right, Sheena, about how beautiful that is
Yeah.
and it brings joy, like food brings joy to us in cooking. So I see Jessica is like assembling the next level of things. I'm getting so excited about her food. So I'm going to build my enchiladas here. Can you hold that, Mom? Actually, I don't need it. And I needed to make sure I get a dish. And one of the things I had said earlier to Jessica, I've used some pre-made corn torts here, which are wonderful. And I think they had the machine to make these ones. And the thing with our enchiladas, we want to stuff them and then roll them in here. So what I'm going to be doing here, well, Jessica's going to show us what it is I'm going to stuff that mixture into my enchiladas and I'm going to line them in my pan so that we can start to build some of the other sauces and things that are going to go on top. And then those are going to go into an oven. Jessica, did you want to hit unmute and just show us what you have on your plate now? Because that looks pretty tasty.
Yes, yes. So I maybe I finish. And now I prepare the sopes. Yeah. So more late I will show the result. Yeah. And in this moment I have all ingredients ready. Yeah, I have the guacamole is ready. So now I have the correct texture, flavor, the cream. You remember this is optional for you. Yeah, that's it. I have any question in the chat, please. I have already your question. Thank you.
Hello, Jessica. Do you know what? Normally I would be a little bit envious, but I know I'm going to be eating some very good food too. And these are what I call those really good food moments where I feel like you and I are sharing some food together, even though we're in two different countries. So that's a goal that we've always had here in Atlantic Canada Cooks, that we create a space and a place where people can come from different regions and just spend some time together. And we're really excited to have that you're doing that with us here today. And I know Jessica will be cooking again. We're also, Jessica was here in Canada and now she's back in Mexico and we're working on her return trip. Perfect. So I'm just going to be finishing off a few things here. I don't need it right this second. And I'm going to show you how I'm stuffing my enchiladas so that we can build this recipe. And then we're going to talk a little bit about getting our tostadas together because we've got those ingredients ready to go here. So here we've got one of our corn torts. So what I'm going to be doing, my mixture is ready. It's got some nice moisture in it. The chicken, the rice, and there's a little bit of tomato in there. It's going to be beautiful. You can really put whatever you want for filling. This is the thing about enchiladas is traditional. Jessica talked about like vegetarian. So a lot of people would do these and could just use different grilled vegetables. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll them up. And I knew that one was going to happen. My corn tortillas are breaking on me a little bit. So I said I might end up making an enchilada lasagna at the rate this is going. I think that one's going to be an overstuff. So the nice thing is I'm going to bake these this afternoon. And what we're doing is we're going to roll them and flip them over. There we go. They are breaking a little bit, but as we always say, they have to break up to go down. Using a flour tort, I find in enchiladas is also, they're a little bit more pliable and they'll hold a little bit more. So there we go. We're doing okay with these. One of the things with these torts is nice is we can use them as a taco. See that? We'd already be having a perfect taco, but we're going to take these ones to the next level. So there we go. We've got the nice 4 of them in the pan. And those are ready to go. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to top that off with some of that really nice enchilada sauce that we've got. And that's here. Give that a stir. It smells amazing. And it's got such rich flavors in it that, and everything is going to end up really soft. And when we bake this, we're going to top it with some cheese and then some crema, which we're going to show you here in a second. So it smells so delicious. There are no words of how delicious this smells. There we go. Ooh, we'll put that over there. Came through. So hopefully you see the level of the sauce that's going to go in there, and that's over the top of the enchiladas. And then my mom did an amazing, and we've got some white con queso, Mexican cheese that's in here, and I mixed a little bit of cheddar. So we're going to use a combination of the 2 cheeses. I will tell you, I know there's a cheese you get in Mexico, Jessica, and I absolutely love it. It's a white crumble. I never seem to be able to find that here. But I know in Mexico, I always get it. So it's kind of fun though. You often see you'll make it. So I'm putting the roll of cheese right in the middle like this. That cheese is going to melt down into everything. And then when I finish it off, when it's hot this afternoon, I'm going to add just some extra nice green onions and cilantro across the top of that. So we're going to set this over here. Actually, I am going to bake that, but I didn't preheat my oven. So we're going to get that oven preheated and they bake for about 35 minutes. Remember, everything I have put in is already cooked. So now we just need all those flavors to come together. So those are going to be good. Mom will get you to put the enchilada stuffing over there. So let's talk about tostadas. But one of the things that you want with those is toppings. So in this bowl, I've got some diced tomatoes. When I am making like a pico de gallo, one of the things I make sure is I make sure there's not a lot of seeds in the tomatoes. So I just use the meatier part of the tomato. Mom, were you trying to, I think Mom was trying to hand me something that I didn't need. So we're all good. She was ready to give me things. And really what you want to be able to do is some diced up onion. And when you're dicing your onion for your pico de gallo, make sure it's a good small size onion. And I will tell you, the best part is it's going to taste even more delicious this afternoon, because this is one of those recipes that once it sits for a few hours, absolutely incredible. So I've got my onion nicely diced up here to a nice small size. And I'm going to put that in with my tomato. And it's funny because this mixture, Jesse and I were talking yesterday, and in chili, funny because Mom has an I Love Chili mug that she's drinking her tea out of today. This is a very similar recipe and they call it pebre. The difference is they'll actually soak the onions in some hot water and it actually removes some of that more powerful flavor that can be there. So limes, I got a live lime. And because I'm going to use a juice from the lime, I'm just going to roll it in my hands so that we can, or on my cutting board here a little bit, so that we can get it broken up really well. And I have to laugh, guys, because I just look in there and I think I am going to take my sombrero off because I'm moving. And I realize that it's getting warm in the house with the sombrero on, right? Sunshine. So a beautiful lime. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day here in Atlantic Canada. And I'm going to take the juice from half that lime. And the good news is there are no seeds in it. And you can use a fork. You can use whatever. You can see I have my tomatoes right here. And we're just going to juice that. I say if there is seeds, just make sure to pick the seeds out. We don't want anybody choking on seeds. So we're going to put this beautiful lime in here. Oh, actually, this is a very juicy lime. And because I rolled that on my board, it's really enabling me to get all that wonderful lime. It's a nice cleaned out lime. So I've got onions, tomatoes, and of course, garlic is always a key. And your garlic level depends on how much garlic you like. I do like a lot, but we're gonna use 2 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna mince up. When I'm using raw garlic in a recipe, we say on Atlantic Canada Cooks, if it calls for 1, use 2. But when we're using it in raw, I will tend to mince it up. So hopefully you can see here on the board, I'm cutting it up small. And then I'm just going to run my knife through it so I have a fine dice. And once I do that, I'm just going to make it into a paste using the side of my knife on my board. Again, so it brings all the oils out of your garlic, which is important. We did garlic last week and no vampires came around. It was absolutely amazing. And, you know, it's easy to do an episode on garlic. And I think I'm using almost the same amount in my Mexican dishes. So that might be telling. So we've got that really fine dice with a little bit of a paste. And we're going to put that in. And of course, when you're using a little bit of salt and pepper, I love to use a cracked pepper. I find it has a really great strong flavor and you really get that feeling. And then we've got some sea salt here. Tomatoes need salt. always tomatoes need salt. And of course, the other key ingredient is going to be cilantro, which I've got here. If I was in Italy, I would add basil, and this would be bruschetta. So basically, it's those historical recipes, I think, that have been around for so many years, and they bring us food memories, pleasure memories from our aunt. You know, where were you? The first time I went to Mexico, I think about that often. I was in my 20s on a vacation with some friends, of course. And just when I had the guacamole, like Jessica demonstrated, made fresh, wow. Those flavors and those memories still sit with me today. So today I'm going to feel like I'm vacation back in Mexico again, right? So there's that beautiful, and I love it. It's the colors of the flag. Too. It looks beautiful. So, and that's just got enough lime juice in there. And that's going to sit and just get more and more flavorful as the day goes on. Absolutely delicious. Make sure that you take the time to make some fresh salsa when you're cooking. It makes a big difference. So we're going to talk about tostados. And you could do a little bit of anything you want with tostados. We said they're kind of like a flat, crunchy taco. Very, very popular. And the nice thing is you can make large size ones, small size ones, whatever feels good for you. Mom and I cooked some beautiful steak last night. So we've got this wonderful steak here. I'm going to make a couple of different kinds. I must say a nice medium rare. I'm just going to warm this steak up a little bit because my tostados are hot and crunchy. So, but this was already really well seasoned. So the meat itself already has some great seasoning on it. And then of course, we have our wonderful pico de gallo that we just made. And I know Jessica demonstrated guacamole. It is one of my favorite things to make, but I'm so excited that she made it today. So we're going to talk about a little fun. Here in Canada, we're often asked by my students internationally or when I'm traveling around the world, am I able to get that ingredient in Canada, Michelle? Like, will I find avocados? Not only will you find them, they're probably imported from Mexico or Peru or somewhere. So you can feel really great about that. But there are some great places that do make that guacamole that's pre-done. And I'm going to cheat and use this today. But I am going to be using my fresh avocado with my soup. So we're going to keep that either way. But when you're doing a tostada, you know, again, it's the same ingredients. Mom, I think I'm going to need help. I can't get that. I can't open it. Here we go. Couldn't open the package. There we go. So we've got that open. I'm going to do a little taste test for this company. And it looks amazing. Nice big chunks too. Look at that. You can see the whole avocado and a little bit of that tomato. I know it doesn't taste remotely close to as good as Jess's. We're going to taste it. Good job. I must say, I'm always amazed, but you know what? It is, if you start with good ingredients in any recipe, you're going to get some good results. And that's what that comes down to. So I've got me, Mom, can you put these in maybe a little bowl for me, if you don't mind? Any bowl. So the other thing that we did too, Mom's going to get those refried beans because I'm going to use those in my tostada, is I did some fried corn. And Justin and I were talking about this, and I have to go over it and look at the name of it so I don't mix it up. Elote, right? Corn, again, is super popular. I wasn't able to get any corn on the cob locally because that here is in the fall. But fried corn is one of the things you can get it as street food sometimes. It's amazing. Even if it's not on that corn, it's on the cob. They can get it in a dish and you can eat it with a spoon. So we have been frying up some corn. Mom fried it up here in the back. And I've added some garlic and some cilantro to it. I'm going to use a little bit of this fried corn on the top of my tostada. Oh, that looks awesome, Mom. Thank you. So Mom has our wonderful refried beans that we did up earlier. They've got a great consistency to them. So awesome job on that, Mom. So I'm going to mix one more little blend before I build these final tostadas for us to have a look at. This is sour cream. So just a regular sour cream. There's nothing in it right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm just afraid I'm going to break one of those. Going back over here. And I'm going back over to that cilantro again. And I'm just going to put a little bit of diced cilantro in the sour cream. And it just gives it a little pop of flavor. I also have some dried onion I'm going to put in there. And it just, again, adds a nice pop of flavor. And it looks really nice when you get that mixed up. And we're going to be topping that on the top. I don't really make, I think it's easy to buy the cream and everything, but this is really cool. You know, Mexican food wouldn't be Mexican food without some great jalapenos, right? See, Michelle, this is a wonderful company here in Elbert County, near where we live, and it's Gems Preserves. So they make all these really neat preserves. They call this one Cowboy Candy. And I will tell you, you really want to watch. It's really good on anything and everything, but it is pure jalapenos. So we're going to take this out so you can have a look. But they've put a little bit of a sweetener in them. You know, hold so you can see in the jar. Look at this. That is pure jalapenos, right? But she put a little maple syrup in this jar. So they're really spicy, but she put a little bit of maple syrup and a few other spices in there. So the jalapeno is not going to ruin Michelle's taste buds. But I think it's just going to add a great extra sweet and heat, right? When you get sweet and heat together. So here we go. We're going to build 2 of these tostados as we did. I have taken those corn flour torts and put them in. I used a cooking oil to fry these, not an olive oil, because you need a higher heat point. So into the frying pan, was very careful. They're wonderful, crispy right now. And what I'm going to start to do down here, Mom, just want to look. I'm just going to get you, because that soup is done, to just ladle some soup into a bowl, because I want to show everybody the finished soup as well. Yeah. Thank you. Ladle that in. We're going to go. So let's get. We've got these beautiful refried beans. I've already taste tested them. They're wonderful. I'm going to use a little bit of those in the bottom of each of my tostadas here. So I'm going to pull forward so you can see a bit better. There we go. I have a lot going on in my cutting board in front of me, everybody. So we're just working on there, moving that forward. Okay. So the refried beans are going across the bottom. And they're going to add a nice creamy texture to the bottom of the what's going to go on this meat. So, oh, that's perfect, Mom. Set that here. I've reserved, remember, some of that beautiful chicken over here behind me. So for one of these tostadas, I'm going to, and there, look, this one's going to be Michelle's. It's got the big pepper on it too, right? Even though that's the sweet pepper, Mom, you're going to like that one. We're going to put that nice pile of chicken. They're kind of like a little Mexican pizza, I would say, except for you're going to have that nice crispy bottom on there. So that looks like a good amount. And on this one, so I piled the chicken up on one, and on the other side, I'm going to take that beautiful steak that we had last night. Yes. I was probably putting more steak on that than I needed, but that's all right. Michelle tends to do that. So we've got a nice little pile of steak on one side and that pile of chicken on the other side. And they're on top. So here's where this gets really nice. Thanks, Mom. We're going to top that off with that beautiful pico de gallo. That one's going to fall over. It sat better on the chicken. It's falling on the other side. And then we've got that crema. And I think that the crema is what really makes this nice when you're eating it. And you know what we're going to be having, right? Oh, we're going to have a couple of those jalapenos on top for fun.
Don't love that.
So, oh, Mama say, right, Joan? So there we have those wonderful tostadas. I hope that you bring some meals like this to your kitchen to have and to enjoy. I also really like Mexican food because you can have all these ingredients out like a bar, and then everybody can go and put all the different ingredients on top. And I think it's a wonderful place. So we're going to finish that off with our wonderful, if you could put that corn in a little bowl for me. We're down to our last few dishes. So here's the soup. You can see how hearty it is. You can see all that beautiful corn in there, the chicken. But this is really where the beauty is. You don't just serve it like this. So we've got a few other things we've prepared for it. And one of them is these beautiful radish. And I love radish. They've got a freshness. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make this really have that beauty where we have to say people eat with their eyes. And then first, thank you, Mom. See, I was going to put that on top of my tostadas and I didn't. So there's a missing ingredient.
Always
Funny enough, right? We're going to put a little bit of cilantro here. I actually have a couple of cucumbers, which I love that same freshness of a cucumber. None of these vegetables are seasoned because it's really about the soup. And it smells amazing. But not guacamole. I am going to finish this off with a couple of beautiful slices of avocado. Because when you eat this, that creaminess of it with the hot soup is an experience that we don't often do here in our culture in Canada. I know when Jessica was here, we were talking a bit about different food cultures, and we put things in food that other people wouldn't think about. And then the opposite also happens. So, come on around here, Mom. This is
Has she got hers done?
yeah, Jessica's going to hold her final dishes up to you. But Jessica, how's that for my Mexican chicken soup?
Yummy, yummy. I have hungry. Oh,
Right?
it's delicious. Yes, it's pozole.
It's no, a little bit of a variation because I just did the chicken. Oh, I did forget when passing the shells right behind you on there. I decided to do a tortilla soup. You know why? I couldn't find the hominy anywhere, which is a white corn. So this is the other final piece I would put on that is a couple of those corn torts I fried.
Yes. Oh, delicious.
Now, the other ingredient you might have put in it was beans. I chose to not put beans in this one and just stuck with the chicken and the vegetables, but lots of variations. We're going to share these recipes online. We're going to share these today. And what we want to say is from our kitchen to yours, and there's that beautiful fried corn. Jessica, thank you so much for coming in with Mexico. Sheena, sharing
Jessica
her
has a
orders.
few comments in the comment section.
Yes.
Oh, well, look at some of the comments and read those off. Oh,
Yeah,
Jessica,
Jessica, there's a few comments there for you.
show
Yes.
Jessica, show us that again and point to it.
Yes. Oh, sorry. What is the question?
I said, hold your plate back up again so we can see.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. This is the result. With milk, with all on is vegetarian. This is the result. Yes.
Look at that. I feel like we're going to be twin eating. Our tostados have a little bit of the same feel as yours. And we just enjoyed you sharing that, Jessica.
Yes, it's similar to tostada, but it's delicious too.
And I see some of our comments, Shinobu. I love it seeing everybody in here. And also saying that some of those tools to get are on Amazon. So we'll put all those tips out on our social media afterwards. So that is so great. We're just reading in there. We're really proud of you, Jessica.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So next week is
Thank you,
eggs,
thank you,
everybody.
Okay.
Take care, everybody. Have an awesome Sunday. Enjoy some great food with friends and family.